anyways, I hope like in any other video, you guys are gonna like, comment, and subscribe. In your dislike, you must tell us why you don't like my show, but we appreciate your comments. Well, today I have my friend, the mighty Takalani Chairo. Yes, clapping for yourself, my friend.
Yes. I must not wait for others to clap for me.
You are the Chairo.
Wow.
God is amazing. You know, Chairo,
God is good. Yes.
You know, from the time I've known you from primary school, you've been a singer. I don't know whether you could sing then, but you were singing.
I think I could, yeah.
Yeah, you were somewhere there. So now, I want to ask, I can't tell you to be free. I mean, you are forever in front of the camera. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
I said, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Noted. Thank you.
Just for context, because people can just know you as Takalani Chairo.
Yeah.
They don't really know where you come from, what you've been through, everything about you. Just for context purposes, can you just give us a background of where do you come from, pretty young girl?
I can go on forever, so you must.
I will bless you as you're flowing with the Holy Spirit.
Wow, yes. So I was born in a village called Chauro.
Yes, darling. Pretty nice.
Yes. And I'm a pastor's daughter, the third amongst 5 girls. So middle child crisis syndrome, as they like to call it. I had a normal upbringing. Unfortunately, I don't have sad sob stories about how I grew up.
When someone says normal,
middle class type of a thing. I've, by the grace of God, I believe I've never slept hungry. I went to a good school.
I mean,
with you, so normal upbringing, primary school, secondary, just a bit. I think the first 2 grades of secondary, grade 8 and grade 9, and then from there on, I moved on to come study in Pretoria. When I say study, it makes it seem like tertiary. To come complete my high school this side. I can say that my life really changed, because now you're moving from, being a pastor's daughter, being all guarded, you can't go anywhere, all of that. Resort to go.
You didn't even go out, my friend.
Never.
I have no memory of you on a social.
No, I never went out. I went out to church.
How do you think that affects you, your shapes you when you don't experience life the way an ordinary child from a normal family, not a pastoral family, lives their life?
I think there's pros and cons. And the pros of it is that, of course, your life becomes a bit shaped, a bit more direction. There's a bit more direction in how you go about your life, but the cons of it are quite hectic as well, because you grow up all shielded and covered, and then now you don't really know the real world.
Yes.
Because the environment that you're in is quite curated according to how your parents parent or raise you up. Freedom to me was it was a foreign concept.
But when you came to high school in Pretoria, you had experienced that element of freedom. What did that do or reveal about your character?
Fortunately for me, I think it was just the Lord's doing, as that the music part of life, or the singing, which really made up a lot of who I am. That is the one thing that always drew me to church.
Yes.
It always kept me grounded, because I had to be at church because I loved doing it. It was no longer about pleasing my parents or go because I said so. Now it was from choice. And I think that really shielded me from a lot of things. I was in Sunnyside. The home, the hub. Others used to call it Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes.
And I was there with no parents, really, with just my siblings.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, the freedom was...
productive.
Well, I think I did a bit, but it was always on a here and there, you know, because I loved going to church. I wanted to be in church. I wanted to be in the choir. I wanted to go around doing music. So that really just shaped how I grew and became an adult. I didn't do a lot of things.
No, you missed out, darling. Let me just tell you.
Really?
You missed out on life. Well, would you, now in hindsight, looking at how being brought up by pastors, would you, if you had a choice today, still want to get married by a pastor? It's like, yo, I get church we go.
No, I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
Kanjani, my friend?
I would. It makes sense.
Are you for real?
It makes sense for me, yeah.
I'm bored, hey?
Why?
No, I had time for that.
No, I would.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I would.
What do you love about being brought up in a pastoral background?
What do I love about it? I think it's a well, because I love church. I'm a church girl through and through.
I mean, girl.
So and that's how I'm raising my sons, you know, to not find another life outside more interesting than the life in church. Okay. It's not boring.
No, they must balance it.
No.
They gotta balance it.
It's actually not boring, my friend. I don't find it boring at all.
Okay.
I think I'm the happiest when I'm in a church environment or doing church stuff.
Listening to you as you are performing, and we are seated. You should understand the life.
So you don't enjoy it?
No, limited. Yeah.
Just
a balanced life. And you mentioned that you have 5 siblings. No, you are the 5th person in a sibling relationship.
Yeah.
I wanted to, because we compete for our parents' attention. Hey, I can imagine with so many kids in that house. I want you to tell me how you relate to each of your siblings.
Okay.
Like I'll say Muraro, and then if you see disciplinarian, you'll say that.
Okay.
And we'll start with the first one,
Dakaro.
Yes.
Dakaro is a big sis. I relate to her like I relate to my mom.
Is it?
Yeah, that level of respect, that level of the big sister. You know,
is it because of the age gap?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's 6 years older than me.
What would you talk about with Dakaro, like the conversation?
Sure, we talk about kids. We talk about raising kids.
I would be such a bad sibling. I have no breaks.
Really?
I just cross, Baba. Like,
no.
I talk about anything with anybody.
Okay, I'm actually not that person with any of them.
Is it? Oh my goodness.
No, not with any of them. I'm actually, because I think it's the middle child thing. So I'm very...
You're closed.
Yes.
You know,
here and there.
Like, I think with so many girls in the house,
no, I'm okay. I'm because what my parents did is they paired the twos, right? Because I'm the middle child, they paired Muraro and Dakaro, the elder siblings, and Bembina Brenda. So I was always like the girl there, like. Yeah, so I never really, and I still don't have that relationship where you just open.
It's difficult to catch up now when we're adults.
Yeah.
So Dakaro is mom, and then Muraro?
Muraro is deputy mom.
Well,
girl,
I guess. How do you breathe? It's mom here, mom there.
Yeah, that's why I live my life alone.
Like, you're not tempted to share?
No.
Like,
I'm not. No, I'm not.
So what are the conversations you have, like, normally?
Normal conversations. Sure, we joke around a lot, so it would just be things that don't matter, really.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, so we talk about funny things, and not really hard.
I know what
I think they have heart-to-hearts amongst the pairs. Yeah, but when I'm there, it's all laughing and fun times.
And then Bambi?
Yeah, Bambi's the weird one. She's.
So what happened to you?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. But also very reserved when there's people around. She only comes out when it's just us. And also the coming out is not to talk about hearty, deep things. It's about laughing and, just being happy, I guess.
And then we end up, poor little girl.
No, she's a sweetheart, that one. She's the baby. She's the baby of the home. Yeah, no, there's not. Yeah.
There's nothing with this. I mean, there's nothing hectic about your siblingship.
No, actually.
Okay, I want us to talk about your career. You are a corporate woman. I don't know how you strike the balance because I'm forever tired. What did you study so that people can see if whether they can relate to who you really are?
I started internal auditing. No, I started with accounting science. Yo!
What are we doing?
Yo.
Why did you lie to yourself so?
And it showed me flames, eh?
Yeah.
That accounting really just, it battered me
Were you
up.
doing it at tax as well?
Yeah, at tax. And then second year in, I was like, no, this can't be my life. Can I not do things that are hard?
You know?
I mean, what's the reason, when you can have a soft life? So I did internal auditing, which is quite doable. I did it, and I worked as an internal auditor for about 6 years. And then I moved from that into company secretariat. So that's where I'm at now.
I don't even know that. Girlfriend, you just mentioned some stuff. I'm like, what? I didn't even know. So how do you manage to balance your music career and your day-to-day job?
I haven't... I'll be lying if I said I figured out the balance, because I haven't. I just really go with, I work hard. And by that, I mean, I'm not lazy to go throughout the night. And if it's demanding of me, I'll do that, I'll push that. But the two things are quite important to me. So instead of trying to balance and where I now end up as average, I push myself to be the best in both the corporate life and also in the music side of things.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm a mom, so I
wanted to say that. And then how are you incorporating the kids into this whole change? Because girl, you are Chairo.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's. I guess I'll strike it. The time will come where I've really just figured out who am I in this whole thing. But for now, I'm just going with the flow. Wherever the demand is, I'm there. But of course, my children take a first priority. You know, I try and make and be intentional about the time that I spend with them. Just to focus on, I think, really 2 hours a day of intentional.
No,
that's a lot.
In a minute, it's a lot. Don't worry. It's a lot, my friend. No, because you are fully present.
Yeah.
The mother thing.
Yeah.
It's even about the quantity of hours. That
Yes.
you be there on your phone the whole time.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, do you ever plan on living your day-to-day job?
Absolutely.
For real?
Yes.
To say?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm waiting for God to say it's time, and then I'm out of there in a flash.
Saying it's time, my friend. What do you guys hear? Hey, guys. Time right now.
No. Wow, it's not time right now. You will say it, and when he speaks with a very clear voice. I will know when it's time. I will know.
I think we always know it because all of us were born with that
intuition.
We always know what we need to do. Which is we really listen to our inner self. We always want to hear what everybody else is saying. Yeah. And then your album, my friend. The whole time. Since we were growing up, you've been singing as a backup vocalist.
Yeah.
For the kereke, if you mean kereke na worship team, worship house.
Yeah, worship house. Yes.
How long and why were you a backup vocalist for such a long time? When you know so many people that are in the industry.
Yeah. I begged for the longest time.
Yeah, girl.
Until last week. So yeah, I did that. I really enjoyed it. So I didn't quite feel the weight.
Okay.
So when people ask me, how was the waiting? I'm like, what waiting? I didn't feel like I was waiting for something to happen. I was doing it with all that I am, because the Bible says that whatever your hands find to do it with all your strength and all your might.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to do. And also I believe that in that time where I'm behind other people, it was my time to glean. It was my time to prepare myself for when the time comes. And now is the time. Right now I'm in the forefront and other people are backing me.
True.
So when you are behind them, that's where I'm learning from them, their mistakes, so that when the time comes for me to step up, I don't fall in the same ditches that they fell in, because I mean, that would be stupid of me to just be there and not learn anything. I was there, I was collecting the contacts, so that when my time comes, I know who to call, right? I was collecting knowledge, wisdom, on how to maneuver the whole industry and what the industry is truly about.
What are the challenges that, as a female vocalist, you experience in gaining space in that industry?
It's quite male dominated. I think the big stars, most of them, 90% of them are males, right? And then there's women here and there. And in that time, back then, I used to find it, offense is the wrong word, but it would really just burden me that where are the women? It's not that we are less talented or we are less gifted than the males. Probably the fact that we as women carry so much, right? As women, we have to care for our families, we have to give birth. There's times when you are pregnant, now you are on maternity leave. The guy literally is just going on with his life, right? He's just going. Yes. And sometimes we have to take a break to focus on other things, to focus on building whatever we are building as women. But I believe that there's grace. And this is the time where women are literally standing up and saying, look, we are not any less, we are not any less anointed, we are not any less gifted, and we are stepping up, we are making things happen.
Do you find that the people that you've known all your years in this industry, were they more supportive, or it was strangers that came to make your dream happen?
Yeah, isn't it always the case?
It's always the case.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Suffer from a spirit of familiarity. I don't know.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, just like when you're in business, the people that are going to support you the most are strangers, it's not people that you know. I'm not quite sure why that is the case, but same in the industry. I found that people that I don't even know, people that I didn't know existed, are the ones that are saying, listen, girl, you can do this. What do you need? I mean, last night I got a call from a person I've never met, and they were just saying, I want to do this for you, I want to do this for you. And they're not charging me anything. They're just saying, I want to push this thing. I want to see you and at a higher place. And I'm thinking, Lord, it can only be God, you know, destiny helpers, as they call them, you know. It's God that locates them at every path. When you're walking on this path, there'll be a destiny helper there, there'll be a destiny helper there. And
everything is always meant to work.
It's always, yeah.
How many doors did you have to knock on for your album to really materialize?
One door.
For real? That was easy. Did you just know this person forever and ever?
No. I believe that, you know, there's a scripture that I stand by, that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That's exactly what happened to me. The time was right. I was in the right place at the right time, and I spoke to the right person, and that person just, you know, God used them to open the whole thing.
Wow. Because, you know, when people talk about producing an album, I don't even know what goes into producing an album. What goes into it resource-wise? Yeah, what?
Sure, it's a long list of resources, but the biggest thing is money. You need a lot of money.
Where did you get the money, my friend?
Habo.
No, I want to know. You know, because people sell us these dreams, and one can be thinking, okay, I also want to have an album.
Yeah.
Mara, where they are, maybe they still need to take a little bit of practical steps that can help them to get there.
Yeah.
How do people raise money? Because if you did find a sponsorship or you negotiate, I think it's important to bring that into people's attention so that they can know that it's not an issue of having the full buck right here now.
Yeah. So this is what happened to me, and legit, I think it was just the working of God in my life. I believed that it was time for me to record, right? I started preparing myself. I started preparing myself in terms of writing songs. I'd been writing songs all my life, but this time I felt that this season needs me to write fresh new songs. I started writing songs. I literally approached a producer not knowing where the funds are going to come from. I myself, being a mom, being a, I don't have the capacity to can carry a whole recording, a whole production. I don't have that kind of extra cash lying around, right? So I started preparing myself. I called up a producer. I said, I'm recording. I did not have anything, and no one had promised me anything.
Wow.
I was just feeling like it's time, and God will make a way. I called him up. We hired a band. We hired singers without a cent.
You were moving by faith.
I was moving by faith. I was literally moving by faith, and God showed up. I started preparing around October. In November, I got a contract. I got a company, Mavhungu Communications, that backed up the whole thing.
Oh wow, wow! Did you what kind of except for the resources?
Yeah.
What other challenges did you experience in making the album to be what it is?
Sure, I think whenever you're working with people, there will always be challenges because people are people,
True.
Others will promise you things and they don't come through. But we should not let those kind of things discourage us. Because if you have a vision and you are focused on where you want to go, you should not let all these other things distract you.
True.
So people promising, one of the challenges, people promising things and not coming through with the promises. Typical. But it's just human beings. And sometimes it's not even that they're bad.
No.
It's just that when they made the commitment.
Everything didn't work out on their side.
Exactly. Yeah. Their heart was in the right place.
Yeah,
they wanted to do it. They pledged. But when they had to make up the promise, they couldn't. And that happens, So people just not showing up. And I made a lot of mistakes.
Like what kind of mistakes?
Expensive mistakes.
What kind of
So you'll find that I decided that I wanted the song to be like this now, right? But then later on, when we went to studio, the post-production, realized that, okay, we could actually have done it differently. And now I want to fix that mistake, and it's going to cost me more money.
Do you have to call in people to studio?
Yeah. You need to call in, it's Mali now, call in more people to come do other things that we could have done then, But I guess some of the things, it was inexperience.
Yes.
The fact that it was my debut album, I was bound to make the mistakes that I made. I think it grew me, this whole thing.
Nay, I think you realize you are really a CEO, my friend. You are really moving a machine here.
Like I had to grow up. I'm not a confrontational person, right? And when time came now to be confrontational and to it was a challenge. I was like, oh my God, now I have to fight with people, and now I have to say I want this and I want it now.
No, you're not gonna do it tomorrow.
And that's not me. I'm soft.
Friend, you can't run a business through being sweetie diet. You must just be a mean pastor. Then you put on your and then I know that you performed with so many artists.
Yeah.
Which ones were your highlights? If it's one, it's fine. If it's two, it's all right.
Sure. I think I'm gonna mention everybody, I guess.
No, don't feel guilty. If they were not your pick.
My highlight, working with Dr. Tumi was a highlight.
Okay.
Even though
How did that come about?
So we went to the same church when I was still in high school. We were in the choir together.
All right.
Before he actually became Dr. Tumi, he was just Tumi Shang at the time, right? So, so yeah, and then we both grew and So getting that call from him, now that we were now he's Dr. Tumi, you're like, oh my God, he still remember me. Yeah. So that was really amazing. And I've sung at Pastor Benjamin Dube's church. Yeah. It was so good. It was really, when things that you once dreamt of as a child and you're seeing it happen, it's like, wow, God, you are really in control of this whole ship, right? Textures Mavhungu, I loved his music when I was, at my lowest, his music carried me, and I always just used to say, you know what, one day if God can just bless me with an opportunity to just be
with this,
to not even be on the stage with him, but to listen to him live,
And then you went beyond.
And then it went beyond that, you know, and we did a song together on his album. We did a song together on my album. And I'm like, So whatever you can actually do. And like now I could daydream and say, I actually said it on Instagram. I said I want to be on Good Morning America.
No, I wanted to ask you, like at least now you mentioned a show. I wanted to ask you, who would you love to listen to me saying interview as though you do interviews. Who would you like to do a collab with? Whether it's internationally, like who is that dream artist that you want to work with?
Tasha Cobbs.
God is listening, eh? The ears are right here. Because I feel, hey, Mara, when Tasha, my friend don't remember.
Bomb. Yeah, so that would be, and I, you know, I've seen God do those things that I never thought were possible. So even this, one day we'll sit here afterwards and we'll say, remember, you know, and I mean, I remember with you, I don't know if you remember, when we were still younger, you used to say you're gonna own a magazine. No, wow. You used to say you're going to start a magazine.
Amen.
No. So look at you now, you know, your own YouTube channel. This is great.
Footsteps in the right direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then your album, The Secret Place. How did that come about, my friend, the name? Is your mom?
Mugowish. Girl. I was going through. So, The Secret Place, the writing of the music really happened at the, what I could say, the worst time of my life. I was going through hell, all right? And that is the time where I felt God saying to me, this is the time for you to withdraw.
Yes.
Leave other things, come and hide in the shade of the Most High. Psalm 91 says, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow. So it was time for me to abide, to leave the streets. It was time to leave whatever's going on, the outside, the world that seemed to be collapsing at the time. Leave that alone. Come to me, come here to my bosom. And that's where the songs were written. It was just me and God.
The first song you wrote?
Rest.
Is it on this album?
Yes.
Is it your favorite one?
It's my favorite one. Because I still remember so vividly how that song came about. I was crying.
I want to know.
I was crying, you know, that cry that you don't even have sound. Like Hannah. The Bible says that she only had it to a movie because she had cried so much, right? So that's where I was, and there was just so much turmoil around me, in my head also, you know. A lot of thoughts, everything seemed to be falling apart. It was actually falling apart, you know. And God just said to me, rest.
Do you think if your world had not fallen apart, you'd have created this?
A pastor of mine, Pastor Blessing, actually said to me, you know what? God said to me, it had to be this way for you to do this. What you do with this situation afterwards is up to you. Something else.
Because for me, the contradictions of anything, they don't change where I'm going.
Yeah.
They help me to know or define better what it is that I want. So if, let's say, I prayed to get to a particular point A, and things are going in all sorts of directions, it does not change anything.
Yeah.
It's helping me to identify, oh, actually, I don't like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So if we look at it from the right perspective,
I
think we can deal with most of the things we go through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of my biggest prayers is always, Lord, heal my perspective. Heal the way I see things.
True.
It's so easy to focus on what's going wrong. And wallow yourself in it, find yourself wallowing in it day and night, thinking about that. But, you know, God healed my eyesight.
True.
He made me see the power that He had deposited in me.
Yes.
The gift that not even the situation can take away.
True.
Even in the midst of that, right there when you are bleeding, and God says,
there's a word.
This is the time. This is the time. And you're thinking, God, you know, God says now, you know, just like the woman that was at the well, you know, 5 husbands, whatever. And then Jesus says, give me water. That for me is a sign that even no matter where I am, there's always something I can give.
There's always something that you can give.
What is inside of me that he put inside of me, he wants it to come out.
You don't even know that exists in you.
Yeah.
It is always there.
Yeah.
Did the album bring healing to you?
It was an expression. So yes, it did.
And then, my favorite one is the first one I listened.
Which one?
It's Ahuna. What were you thinking when you wrote that?
Ahuna, guys.
My friend. You can't be tired. And it's one of those songs that wherever you go, people are going to ask you to sing it.
Yeah. I love that song with all my heart. It ministered so much to me. Funny enough, it was one of those songs that I didn't pay much attention to when we recorded it. I never even thought it would be the first single. But when I listened to it, it just shifted something in me. And I think when you listen to the song, you can feel that even if you don't understand the words, you don't understand the language that is used, but you can feel the spirit that is within the song. God is not limited by our language barriers.
Yes.
He's not limited by the fact that you can you know what, God will touch you with that very same song. He knows no boundaries, right? All those things that I mentioned there.
What?
Uvengo. Shy. Everywhere.
My friends, I don't know how to say it.
At the time.
But you're shying, my friend.
That is not.
Like, girl, when you go to work, how can you be shying? Hey, black people. Sorry. You don't even have black text.
What are you? Your life, my friend, life, you, yeah.
Okay, we are out of time, and I think I forgot to talk about your sons. I don't want them to get mad at me when they grow up and they're looking at this.
Yeah.
Tell me, you got 2 boys.
2 boys, yeah.
What are their names and how did they come about?
How did they come about?
No, I mean the names. Good Lord, have mercy.
I was sitting one day and the angel came to me and said, "Child, you shall have a son."
Wow.
No, they came.
Say that.
Okay, so my first boy is Ngoshando. Ngosha buiwando. Ngosha actually means psalms or Zingimbo, Zingosha, songs. That's my firstborn. Both myself and his father are singers, so I think it just made sense to name the child
like
songs. And then my second born, Riroshendo, which means let's worship.
Yes.
Both myself and his father are worshippers, so we named the child Let's Worship.
Do you want to have more kids?
No.
I mean, it's also fine, my friend. 2 is a good number.
Yeah, no, 2 is a good number. We will fly nicely. Business class.
Okay, we're out of time. You're going to finish this with 1 word.
Yeah.
And then we are done, friend. There's no more time. Production, is what?
Money. Money.
Okay. God is?
Love.
I am?
Loved.
We are?
Lovers. So dumb. What else?
That's Cairo, guys.
What was I supposed to say?
I don't know, girl. You just choose. We love this.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the show, my friend.
I did. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I hope you guys at home enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.